Hey there, it's Jen, and I'm here for Freckled Fawn to bring you another layout process video, and I'm using the June kit, which is super cute. You can see lots of fun stuff here. I have all of the pieces here, and I'm going to focus on the numbers actually for this layout about my daughter doing these silly little card tricks. I had the self-timer on while we were decorating the Christmas tree with lights. I'm not going to make this a Christmas story at all. The deck of cards that she has is pink, so I'm just going to go with that. And just talk about how she was pulling these funny faces and showing the cards to the camera as it was taking pictures instead of just decorating the tree because she thought she was being funny. So that's what this layout's going to be about. I'm going to go ahead and put you on fast forward so you can watch the process.
Okay, so I'm going to start this layout by arranging the numbers. I knew before I even started the layout that I wanted to fill up the background with numbers. So I'm just using a piece of white cardstock and getting one of each of the numbers. There's 3 of each of them in the package, which is awesome. And I'm just kind of playing around with them, arranging them in a way that kind of they go under the photos, but there'll still be a bunch sticking out. And I'm using one of each number, and I'm trying where I can to nestle the numbers together. So you can see the 5 where there's the opening on the side, and the curve of the 9 kind of nestles inside of it. I'm trying to do things like that to make everything kind of fit together, and I really like when things kind of do that. So I just was counting my numbers to make sure I had one of each, and what I'm going to do now is just place a teeny bit of adhesive on each number to put it down. You can kind of see the adhesive through the number, so where I can, I'm placing the adhesive underneath the photo, but what I plan to do is stitch these numbers down. So I am just placing the smallest bit of adhesive just so it sticks to my I don't want to put adhesive through my sewing machine. Not too much anyway. So you can see I've got those stuck down. I'm switching out the thread in my sewing machine. I had black in there and I'm switching it out to white. I just keep my sewing machine on my desk so I can pull it over whenever I want to use it, and that helps me to use it a lot more often. So what I'm doing is I'm just stitching back and forth across each number a few times, and now what I'm doing is pulling the threads from the back. If you tug on the thread hanging on the back, it will pull the thread hanging on the front through, and you can just tape those down on the back so that you get a nice clean look on the front and it's nice and secure on the back. So that's what I'm doing there. And here you can see all of those numbers stitched down. It gives them a little bit of dimension, which I like because they're kind of flipped up in some spaces. I decided that I wanted my photos to lie side by side rather than on top of each other. So I'm just cutting off a little bit of unnecessary details from the photos. They're not really details. It's just more of the tree and more blank space. So that I can fit them in closer proximity. And what I decided to do is I thought they needed just a little bit of definition, but I didn't want to take over the numbers by using cardstock or pattern paper or anything. And so I just grabbed a scrap of vellum and I'm placing it behind my photos. And you can see I kind of folded it in half underneath the photo, and that just gives it an extra little texture. And I like that. And that's something I learned from Missy Whitten. She does that a lot with tissue paper. So I did that for both photos, and now I'm going to think about what I want to do for my title. So I thought it would be nice, because I was trying to take pictures of us decorating the tree, to use this picture perfect little acrylic piece that came in the kit this month, and I accidentally broke that piece, but you can see when I place it back together, you can't even tell, so I'm not worried about that at all. There's a little space on that left-hand photo where the windowsill was that's white, and so I thought it would be nice to rest it right there. I am also thinking about, originally when I started this layout, I wanted the title to be something like Card Trick, or I don't know, something like that. And so I'm still thinking about doing that title, so it's kind of a double title. And I'm trying to decide if I want to use thickers or if I want to handwrite my title. I'm having a hard time deciding what will look good. I have a bunch of Tombow brush markers, and so what I've been liking doing lately is grabbing a brush marker, writing my title, and cutting it out so it looks like a sticker. So I'm just trying a few different options here. I also tried it with a Sharpie. I tried script, and then I thought maybe because Picture Perfect isn't a script, I should do just a regular uppercase font or something. And so that's what I'm doing here, but then I don't like that either. So I'm going back and forth on what I want to do. Eventually I pulled out these Heidi Swap puffy stickers that are a bright pink color, and they really match well. And I also pulled out these ones from Fancy Pants that are the perfect shade of greeny yellow, but I decide against those also. I am going to go with the Heidi Swap letters, and so I'm just kind of placing them lightly on my background, trying to decide where they should fit in. I thought it might be nice for the word trick to rest up underneath where the 4 is. I like to, as I mentioned before, nestle things together so that it looks like they are all connected. But I'm feeling like it feels disconnected from the words picture perfect. So I put it on some wax paper so I could move it around my layout rather than picking it up and putting it down a million times. It's much easier if you'll just put it on wax paper, and then you can see through it enough to know where you want to place it. So I'm going to glue that piece down there, and I was using my Scotch Quick Dry adhesive at first, and I remembered that I prefer to use my what is it called? ThermoWeb Mixed Media Adhesive, which you can see at the top right. And so I used that to glue down Picture Perfect, and I put down the word card trick right below it. And now what I'm doing is just adding some of those really cute enamel hearts, and I'm adding 3 at the top and 3 at the bottom. I'm going to play around with the sizing a little bit to see exactly how I want to do that. And I'm putting kind of that yellow-green color, a navy, and a pink in each cluster. And now I'm going to see if I can place some of these cute chipboard little word stickers around. And so I'm going to place one below my title, and I'm going to place, I think, 1 or 2 at the top. And I accidentally peeled off the adhesive, so I'm just adding some more as I place that down. That one says, "Hey girl," and then there's one that says, "So very happy," and one that says, "Hello." And I'm just using the white ones. There's a bunch of black and white ones on there, so that worked nicely. And even though those are really summery themed chipboard phrases, you can pick things out to work for anything. So I am just grabbing a pen, and I'm going to write my journaling, and I decide to write it below my title, and I'm just drawing some journaling lines and handwriting in that little story about my daughter pulling faces and showing her cards on that layout. I needed another line, so I'm just drawing a couple more there with my ruler. I don't always use my ruler to draw journaling lines, but I thought I should do it here. And then I'm just going to see what I might want to add for a few final touches. I'm going to put the date down. I'm using a bright pink, at least I think. I'm testing it first. Ink pad for that, and I'm just stamping it to the right of my journaling, and that kind of fills in that little space there. And then I'm going to take these washi stickers, and I'm going to use 3 of the arrows. And first I'm thinking about using some of the circles, but I'm going to use the arrows, and I am just placing them in 3 different spots on the layout. And I'm going to place one to the right here. I'm actually going to cut it down a little bit so it matches the other 2 a little bit more. And that is going to finish this one off. There's some still photos here. If you have any questions, leave me a comment. And you can check this out at freckledfawn.com/blog. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you soon.